Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Coming up on this Access City Council program, more health care options are available to Ward 1 residents as another Dignity Health Center opens here in the city. And we'll tell you how the city is working to reinvent some of the schools in the valley, specifically in Ward 1. The councilwoman who represents Ward 1, Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian, who is also our Mayor Pro Tem, joins me now. Councilwoman, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year.
And to everybody who's listening.
It's hard to believe 2017, where did it go?
Flew.
It
flew. On eagle's wings, it flew fast.
They all do.
It flew fast. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. This is our last Access City Council program of 2017, gone.
Right.
But 2018, right around the corner, we'll talk a little bit about that. But for those that don't know where Ward 1 is located, this lady knows it very, very well. But if you're not quite sure, we'll show you. It's right smack dab in the center of the valley. There it is. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And you are represented by Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian, which is hard to believe, but you are coming to the end of your term in office.
That's right. I'll term out soon.
Yeah, in 2019. So we got you a little longer,
in
which
2019,
we're going to enjoy.
Right.
But
that's right.
The time has flown past. So.
And I had a couple of extra years because of a
recall election that you came in as a result of that.
Right,
so.
Right. But, and it's been fun.
It has. It has. You've done quite a bit. And one of the things that you really wanted to see was the areas along Decatur, along Sahara, to be revitalized. And you got a nice boost from Dignity Health.
We did.
That is wonderful. They had a grand opening December 9th. Dignity Health opened what's known as a micro hospital, basically a small hospital. I don't know how many beds.
Not very many, and a small hospital, but with the service of a larger hospital.
Exactly, connected to St. Rose, right?
That's right, St. Rose Dominion.
Yeah, yeah. So I know, Councilwoman, you worked hard to try to attract these services in Ward 1, because during the recession especially, we saw a lot of those types of things leave.
They did leave, but I think we have now, with the recession over, we have a revitalization in that area, and of course with the medical school coming and many new medical hospitals and clinics coming near the medical school, and with this smaller type of hospital but very efficient and very good hospital, I just think we're covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, and what's so nice is that St. Rose, Dignity Health, great facility, but it's in the South Valley. The facility just opened on December 9th is right in the neighborhood of people that live within the city limits of the city of Las Vegas.
That's exactly right. I've been to St. Rose, but you're right. It's in the county, way in the south. It's a long way out there. It's a very fine hospital, and I found very good service while I was there. And so we're very proud to have them in our community.
And Councilman, we should also mention that the new medical district, which is going to be the site of the UNLV Medical School, variety of other services, of course, the Lou Ruvo Cleveland Clinic for brain research, brain health, is also in Ward 1. So you seem to have attracted, I don't know what the formula is, but you've done a great job of attracting these medical facilities into not only Ward 1, but into the city of Las Vegas.
Well, and I think it's very important that we have all of these facilities, because we have some very fine doctors and hospitals, but there's always more that you can do. Yeah. And we think we're going to be able to provide that in the future. It's amazing how people are calling us now wanting to get into that medical district or in that area. You don't have to be right in the district, but someplace along Sahara or Charleston.
Yeah. Well, Dignity Health, St. Rose, Dominican, obviously the same company now. Welcome to the neighborhood. I know.
Yes, welcome to the neighborhood.
We're
very pleased you're there.
And speaking of the neighborhood, in Ward 1, you had a great Citizen of the Month we want to mention on this show. The city tweeted this out. Congratulations to Hal Goldblatt, Citizen of the Month. Thanks for improving safety in our community and assisting with neighborhood cleanups. Hal been around a long time. He's been a businessman here in town. He's an accomplished photographer, but he also, through Shabbat Las Vegas here, does a lot for the community, does a lot in the way of helping, giving back to the community.
He is one of those individuals that if he sees a problem, he wants to help solve it. And in that area, we had a lot of graffiti, we had some other problems, and he went out and he worked with the people, and that's his wife next to him, by the way, and the two of them together worked on getting rid of the graffiti. They worked on uniting people from the Chabad so that they would be able to work strongly and develop a neighborhood association. We had one there before, the Artesian Association, but you know, as people move or pass away, it sort of sometimes needs a new rejuvenation, and that's what he's doing right now. He's taking two former neighborhood associations, uniting them in one and giving them a lot of enthusiastic assistance. So we expect that that is really going to be bouncing back.
That was our November 1st City Council meeting. We always recognize our Citizens of the Month on the first council meeting of the month. It's always the first Wednesday, and it was your opportunity to honor him. I know it meant a lot to him to have that recognition.
It did, and we had a dinner with him when we were, our initial meeting on getting the two associations together, and his son was there, and all of, many people from the Chabad were there. They were all excited about what we're doing and working with the city to develop strong neighborhoods.
Yeah. Well, Hal, thanks to you and your family for the way you support the community. It means a lot. You've always been really good, Councilwoman, at getting people in the community to band together, to work together. You've always said that, and that's the key to success. And it just seems that it just continues on in all the years that you've been in office.
Well, we try very hard, my staff, Robin and Kim and Ann, we try very hard to develop a feeling of esprit de corps within a neighborhood. Yep. Sometimes that's hard to get. Sometimes, you know, you're in a neighborhood that might have had a lot of gang activities or other things, and they feel beaten down. But we show them that you can't get beaten down unless you let them do that. Yep. So we've got to work together. And if you try and do this by yourself, it won't work. Yep. No, but together we can do it. And together we've been able to help our neighborhoods. And I believe that we have really improved our neighborhoods in Ward 1.
Well, it's worked well. You've had the Keep Everyone's Eyes on the Neighborhood program,
that's right,
Keene,
near Clark.
Near Clark High, and that's been very successful. That was a very tough neighborhood for a long time, but that neighborhood really came together, had a show of unity, also to let the criminal element in the area know that they weren't going to tolerate that anymore.
No, once in a while now we still have some problems there, but before we were having them almost weekly. It was something else. I remember the first time we went out there, and we had an 8-year-old boy who was telling us where they stashed the drugs when the police came. He was showing us the little pipes at places they hid it, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, this 8-year-old, what's happening here? But it has improved a lot, I think. And again, it's because they united, the families united in trying to help the neighborhood. And of course, Clark High School has been great too.
Yeah, well, and people like Hal Goldblatt really help get the neighborhoods united and working together.
You know, a lot of people complain, and a lot of people talk, and a lot of people say, oh, you should do this or that. And I'm telling people now, if you don't want to come to a meeting, don't complain. Don't complain. Don't expect your neighbor to share carry all the heavy load.
Great point.
We've each got to give. We've each got to give. And that's what we try to do in our neighborhoods.
Yeah. Well, you're a perfect example of that works when everybody does that. Yeah, Ward 1 is a perfect example. So, well, Councilwoman, moving on to the next City Council meeting on November 15th, you had a chance to honor Polish Heritage Month. And Shane Savannah-Priddy in our office tweeted this. He said, the Pious Polish Dance Company livened up City Hall for Polish Heritage Month. Did I pronounce that right? Pious? Pious?
I believe it's Pious.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that.
That's all right.
But it was exciting because, now one thing I didn't know is that you are part Polish. I didn't know that.
Half Polish.
Yeah, and I learned that day. But we had some folks, and look how beautiful they're dressed.
How beautiful they're dressed. She choreographs and brings these great dancers to us, and very proud heritage Polish. You know, in World War II, they did so much in fighting on the side of the Allies, and they have this beautiful pottery and these beautiful dancers. Look at how happy they are, and it's just beautiful. And I was very happy that they were able to come. They haven't been here that long in Las Vegas, and they've all gathered and met together. And Our Lady of Las Vegas Catholic Church has a large group of Polish people there. They have their own mass. They have their own days where they sell foods that they make. So if anyone likes pierogies or stuff like that, that's where you need to go. And it's a wonderful things that they do.
Well, it also keeps the culture alive. That's part of the experience, is that keeping it, passing it from one generation to
It
the next
is,
as well.
and it's very important. If you notice, there were some younger girls in the group, and then there were some young ones watching.
That's the key.
That's the key to pass it down. That's right.
Very good. So, Councilwoman, you're also part, I know you're not just solely Polish, so maybe we'll have some other cultural groups come in too.
Yeah, I'm not Filipino, but I was thinking it would be nice to
That'd
have
be fun,
something
yeah,
from the
yeah.
Philippines, because they also have some beautiful dances
and
and
good
things
food,
like
too,
that. Yeah,
so.
and good food. Mhm.
So let's
We
work
can
on
always
that.
go for that,
We can
huh?
always work on that for sure. Speaking of food, Councilwoman, great tradition that you've had for many years, and that's having Thanksgiving dinner at the different senior housing facilities throughout Ward 1. You have many, Jamestown, Stella Fleming, there are others.
Sartini,
Sartini Plaza, exactly right. And I did that again. Got some video from right around Thanksgiving this past time around. This is Stella Fleming, I believe you had
Yes,
mentioned
it
to me.
is.
Yeah.
It's Stella Fleming, and this year we had Arizona Charlie's furnish the food, which they furnished to one of, this year they furnished for 3 of the places we have, but every year they furnish to at least one, and they have the turkey and the vegetables and the stuffing and everything, ham and turkey,
Nice.
And the citizens really appreciate it. Many of them don't have relatives or close family
Yeah, that's what
members
you said,
nearby,
yeah.
so they're alone on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. We do it also on Christmas. So, and I believe, done it every year since I've been in
You
office.
have. Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and they really, really enjoy it and are greatly appreciative to them. And so we thank Arizona Charlie's for helping this group out, and all the others that help us too.
No small feat, because it's hundreds of people that live in
Oh,
those facilities,
yes.
so it's always a big deal. And
It's
to
over
serve,
it's over 300
yeah,
people.
Yeah,
that
so you've
live
got
there.
doing that for Thanksgiving and Christmas at all those facilities. It's a big
I
deal.
must tell you, it can be a heavy thing just organizing.
Right, right.
It is sometimes heavy. And then what we try to do is we bring gifts for a lottery, and Christy Garnis helps us
from the
put
city.
baskets together of things that can be used by seniors.
Yep.
You know, it may be home goods, it may be something you're going to cook with, it may be wax paper, but they love those things.
Yeah.
And she just does the baskets so beautiful for Christmas.
She does.
And
It's a labor of love for her too. So, well, Councilwoman, great job with all of that. And then speaking of Christmas, boy, oh boy, another tradition is the RTC Bike Ride. Now, this always goes from the Transit Center in the Northwest, which is basically at West Cliff and Durango. And the ride goes over to NV Energy's main headquarters on Sahara. And that's where Chet Buchanan
Sits
it
way
sits up on the sign.
high.
Yeah, yeah,
Sits way high.
gathering toys for
And he stays
deserving.
there day after day.
He does. He camps out up there.
Yeah, I don't know how many days it is. Isn't it about 2 weeks?
Yeah,
He's up there.
it is. It's a long time. It's maybe even a little longer than that. And we've had some really high wind storms and
I
everything
know,
else. And
I
there's
know.
Chet up there. You know, it's like I hope he's strapped down because he hasn't blown off yet, thank goodness. But yeah, the weather can get kind of nasty. But he
and
stays
Ward
up there.
1 serves hot chocolate and coffee for people who come there. And people will be carrying big
amazing.
bundles of presents. And if you look, there's an acre of bicycles that are donated.
amazing.
And it's just gorgeous because it's like a wave of yellow bicycles, a wave of purple. It is amazing. And all of those are given out to families in need.
So Santa can deliver them.
Yeah,
on,
no money's spent
Yep.
anyplace else but getting those presents out.
Yeah, it's a great tradition, and you've always been a big part of that. Of course,
It's a good
It's right there
tradition.
in Ward 1. So
Right, it's in Ward 1.
smack dab in the middle.
Right in the middle of things.
And then another tradition you've had for many years is Shop with a Cop. This is always where the police officers from a variety of agencies, whether it be Metro, the school district police, sometimes our own marshals here at the city, will take youngsters who are in need out on a little shopping spree before Christmas.
I think it was started by the Clark County School District Police, and then they got all the other police units.
And HPS, you mentioned Highway Patrol's involved in this as well.
Right, and I get to ride in a car with Santa, and this year we're going to have Michelle Fiore riding with me, and we're going to be with Santa, and we go there, and each of the children gets $100 to pick out what they want. And they buy what they want. Sometimes if it's a little over 100, the policeman will pay the extra. I mean, they're very, very wonderful.
They do it all the time. Yeah.
And then the policemen take them individually so that they can pick them and they're safe, you know. And they serve people orange juice, coffee, cocoa, donuts, so that if you're a parent and the child's with the policeman looking for things, you can sit and have your coffee and let them go.
It's touching because not always do the kids go for the toys. Sometimes they go for things they need, like clothing and things like that as well. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
I don't think sometimes people realize the number of families we have that need help. Really need help. Each year at the beginning of the school year, we try to help our schools as they get started. We know they're having difficulties. So you might get papers or pencils, and we have one school, they want underwear and socks. Yeah. And the second year in a row this year, they asked for that. There's such a big need in the families in their area.
Yeah. Exactly, Councilwoman. So it's a wonderful, wonderful event. And again, that took place December 16th. And then, this is awesome too, you always work with the Charleston Neighborhood Preservation Group.
Yes.
And this is really cool because they decorate the trees in the neighborhood. This is really cool.
Well, you know, this is very interesting. This group is a smaller size group, but it is a united group. And what they do is they have someone there, one of the individuals, they call him captain, and the captain organizes, and he's right across from the park. And so they thought that they would decorate a tree in the park. Now, of course, we don't have any Christmas trees growing in the park, so we took another tree. So all of us went out there, and the first year we had a little bit of things, snacks to eat, and we had a little scraggly tree to decorate.
Kind of Charlie Brown kind of thing.
We called it our Charlie Brown tree. But after that, our trees got looking better and better, and last year we decorated 2 trees.
I know, and they're kind of starting to spread out here
now
a little
we're
bit,
spreading out, yes. Now we're spreading out. And this is a community that watches its park very carefully, and they keep in contact in case there's anything dangerous in the community or anything. Yeah. And that's what we have to do. You know your neighbor, communicate.
You know what else I thought that was really great, Councilwoman, is they just didn't go out and start decorating trees in the neighborhood without getting some coordination from the city. So they contacted your office, made sure that, hey, if we decorate these trees, are we going to be in any kind of trouble?
Would you help us? And but you know, we didn't. We brought some decorations and things, but they had their own. They went and got their own decorations. And for the bicycle ride, we'll have somebody there with the chocolate cart and everything. But they had their own. They put it on the little barbecue that's there in the park, and they did a great job. And they're proud. They're proud of where they're living, and that's what it is. When you work together in a community, you get pride in your community. For sure. And the things the city does, I keep telling everybody, don't complain, look for the resources, and the city will help.
Well, and what a great way to bring the neighborhood together. Those folks clearly know each other, and they've known each other for some time, but it's a great lesson in how to get to know your neighbors and to how to build community by getting involved in projects where everyone works together like that.
I have a friend once, and I asked him, how do you know many people there? And he says, quite honestly, I'll wave at someone when I drive in my garage driveway, and
shut the door.
I'll wave, and I'll wave when I'm leaving to somebody. I don't even know who they are. And that's not the way you want to be, because there's a lot people offer.
Yeah, for sure, Councilwoman. Well, it's a wonderful event. I've been doing it now, I think
several years.
Yeah, and I think for too long you're going to be decorating the whole...
No thanks. You know, the trees are getting taller.
They are. You're going to have to get a truck or something out there to help you with all that. So, well, good deal. Well, Councilwoman, we need to take a short break, but when we come back, we tell you how the city is teaming up with the school district to lend support to underperforming schools in Ward 1 and across the city. That's next, so please stay with us.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back. The city has many programs in place that focus on assisting schools in the valley that need a little bit of help. And with us today to talk about some of these programs is Dr. Michael Maxwell. Michael is one of our managers in the Youth Development and Social Innovation Department. Michael, thanks for being here. And I should also mention, of course, that Councilwoman Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian is also Dr. Tarkanian. She also has a doctorate too. So I just want to make sure that I'm talking both doctors here. So, Michael, thank you for being on the program.
Glad to be here.
You know, Councilman, I think we want to set this up. We just want to always emphasize the fact that while we have these programs that Michael works on and the whole department, we're not trying to take over the school district.
No.
That's not the intent here, but it's to try to complement or supplement what the school district is doing. That's really what you and the mayor, that was your vision on this,
That was
right?
the vision, and I believe that that's what we're doing, and that's how the district feels. I really feel the district's very appreciative of what we've been able to do to help, that Michael and Lisa have worked together in doing with their staff.
And Michael, talk a little bit about that. Again, we're not trying to be the school district, but we're trying to help where the school district doesn't, before school, after school, and in other programs as well, right? Yeah, preschool, exactly.
Exactly. Our department, under the direction of Dr. Lisa Morris-Hibbler, has really made sure to emphasize that we are providing educational supports. So we partner with the school district and the schools that are assigned to our Reinvent Schools program to find out what are their needs, what are the things that we can do to support them.
Right.
In addition to the academic side, what are the things that the students need, the teachers need, the faculty at the school, and then we go forward and try to make sure that we meet those needs by providing those additional resources.
Michael, what are some of the programs that you're working on that are making a difference?
Well, the gardening program, as you saw in one of the clips.
Yeah, we got some video we'll show here now.
Red Rock, the gardening program is a big hit with the schools.
Now tell us about this. What's the idea here?
The idea is to actually get the students to plant the plants, to plant and take care of the plants all the way from the seeds to the actual vegetables.
Wow.
You know, harvesting the vegetables. And some of the schools have actually sold the vegetables.
Wow.
So, so they have sort of a mini farmer's market for parents, and the students actually decide how much they should sell the vegetables for, and so forth. So it really becomes much more than just a garden. It becomes the entire process. And so teachers can actually take that process and sort of make sure that they do some academic activities, writing, talking about the process, and so forth. So it helps the schools by providing some of those other things that typically a school's not going to be able to have a garden, put the planter boxes in, and focus a lot of time on the garden. And so through our program, we have a contractor that we bring in, and that's what they focus on. So they give the supports to the school to make sure that the school faculty doesn't have to spend so much time, especially taking away from the academics, to focus on the gardens.
Councilwoman is an educator.
I was just going to say, and you integrate that too, because as they're growing the plants, they're learning, and they do sometimes science experiments. For example, this plant doesn't get water for 4 days, and this plant does. What difference does it make in how the plant grows?
Absolutely.
And how tall did this one grow, and how tall did that one grow? Bringing in the mathematics. You bring in science, you bring in mathematics. And then after they do what you said, pick the food or sell the food, some of them use it and cook the food.
Right.
And, it's principles that you don't have the children learn the principle, matter changes form. But what you do are you're teaching them with hands-on work that matter with water, with fertilizer, with sun does change its form and can be used in different ways.
And it's learning in the truest sense because it's hands-on versus just reading about it or hearing somebody tell you about it.
The printed word goes so far, but when you do this with a hands-on, it's so much better.
And it goes beyond harvesting the vegetables and selling them, and as the Mayor Pro Tem said, as far as actually eating the vegetables and so forth, we also have chefs that come out to the school. Through our Reinvent team takes care of all of this. They bring chefs out to the school, they put on demonstrations, actually cutting the food, preparing the food, cooking it, and then eating it.
Yeah.
So the kids see the entire
to Z, right.
Exactly, and the science behind it is, you can't miss the
exactly.
opportunities to.
Mike, that's not all you're doing too. You got the Strong Start Academy as part of what you're working on as well. Right. Now tell everybody about that. Again, this is a way to kind of get kids off on the right foot as they start their academic career, right?
Correct. This is the newest part of our department's Cradle to Career development program. So we are actually looking at the youngest of our learners. So we've opened up a couple of Strong Start academies. Strong Start focuses on pre-K right now. So we have kids who are actually 0 or newborns.
Wow.
All the way to 4 and 5 years old.
Really? Wow.
At our Strong Start academies. One is at Alta, and the other one is at Rtc Park. Mm-hmm. And those two programs are, again, are introductions to what we plan on doing.
Michael, what I should say, this is the ribbon cutting of one of those facilities opening up right here. I believe this is the one on Alta, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Correct. And the councilwoman has been so supportive of these efforts, both reinvent and the garden at the reinvent as far as the garden, and then also our Strong Start academies.
It's been a passion of Councilwoman Tarkanian, Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian, and Mayor Goodman, both of them educators by trade, by career, and by profession, I should say. And this is something that they've really been passionate about and really helped your department come into being.
Exactly. We are one of the newest departments. 2 years anniversary, I think, is next week.
And they've done a lot in 2 years.
Yes.
Great department.
Yes.
Great department. In fact, I don't know how they're doing all the different things they're doing.
It's great.
Besides the things you've mentioned here, they do a multitude of other things.
Sure do. Mm-hmm. Mike, we have about a minute left. Anything else you want to add while we have you on the program?
I just want to, again, thank Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian for all of her support and all of the departments here at the city, but especially I want to make sure to recognize our Youth Development Social Innovation team, department, and our Reinvent team also. And I think without the team, teamwork makes the dream work. So and also our leader, Dr. Lisa Morris Hibbler. If it wasn't for her vision aligning with the city councils,
Well, congratulations on the good work that you all are doing, and I know it means a lot to the councilwoman and to the youngsters you're helping too. So. Well, folks, we're just about out of time here, but we want to tell everybody out there, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman and Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian, you can always find her on Facebook. You can also leave a comment there, and if we see one of your posts, it's really great, we may use it at one of our next shows. And you can also contact her the old-fashioned way, pick up the phone, 702-229-6455.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, me too. Or you can send her an email, and her address is ltarkanian@lasvegasnevada.gov.
And we want to say Merry Christmas,
Yes.
Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, just happiness to everybody and peace this holiday
in
time.
2018, absolutely.
Yes.
So, Michael, thank you so much. Councilwoman, we'll see you in the new year back on this show. And great job today, everybody.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning in January with Councilman Bob Coffin. And don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone, and happy holidays. We'll see you next time around.